Nora felt the burger disappear before she even tasted it. 1 second it was warm in her hands. The next second, 4 tiger cubs swarmed her tray, tiny teeth tearing into the bun with the confidence of thieves who had never been full. Hey! No! Nora tried to pull it back. Rumble, the biggest, growled at the burger like it was prey. Spark stole a nugget and chewed with his eyes closed. Latch climbed Nora's boot and refused to let go. Bit, the smallest, dragged the patty away with both paws, wobbling but determined. The galley lights flickered. Above them, the station speakers clicked, deciding if this was a crime. Nora's stomach tightened. Not because she was hungry. Because if the cameras saw cubs, security would come. On Station Kestrel, contraband did not get comfort. It got cleared. Quiet, Nora whispered, scooping Bit up against her chest. Bit squeaked and tried to bite her sleeve with baby teeth. The other 3 froze, cheeks puffed with stolen food. Their ears turned toward the ceiling. Nora slid the tray under the counter and crouched. In. Under. They scrambled beneath the prep table, tails flicking like little flags. Nora wiped sauce off her glove and forced her face into calm. The speaker crackled. Galley. Inventory mismatch. Confirm. Nora tapped the console. Scanner lag. Resetting. A pause. Then the system accepted her lie. The lights steadied. Under the counter, someone crunched happily on her burger. Nora exhaled and reached down. 4 warm bodies pressed into her hand. They were 4 to 5 months old, all fluff and stripes and oversized paws. They should have been learning grass. Instead, they learned vents, alarms, and the smell of disinfectant. 2 weeks ago, Nora found them in a cargo pod marked live animal, forgotten in the dock queue. The feeder lines were dry. The mother was gone. The cubs cried until their voices turned rough, then kept crying anyway. She told herself it was temporary. Then the transport was delayed. Now the cubs lived in her maintenance locker, wrapped in thermal blankets, drinking warmed nutrient mix from cut-down cups. They followed her like shadows. They stole like hunger was a job. A voice echoed at the galley door. Who's in here? Nora snapped upright. A supervisor stepped in, tired eyes, tablet in hand. His nose twitched. Smells like real meat. Nora kept her tone flat. Protein block seasoning test. He grunted. No waste. We're cutting rations again. No waste, Nora said. He left. Nora dropped back down. The cubs were silent, pressed together, eyes wide. Even Rumble looked small. She touched their heads one by one. Good. You stayed quiet. Bit reached for her finger and held it. Nora's chest ached with the same thought as always. She could not keep hiding them. So she made a different plan. If she could not make the station accept extra mouths, she would make the station need them. The next morning, Nora went to Hydroponics. She found the algae vats nobody loved and tuned them like a machine that deserved care. Heat routing. Light timing. Flow balance. By the end of her shift, output was higher. A grower stared at the numbers. What do you want for this? A trade, Nora said. Protein blocks. Small ones. The grower studied her face. You feeding someone you shouldn't. Nora did not lie. Yes. The grower sighed, then nodded once. Keep the vats stable. I'll look the other way. That night, Nora cut 1 block into 4 tiny portions. The cubs pounced like she had brought them a planet. She started training them between shifts. 2 taps for come. Palm up for stop. Calm gets warmth. Chaos gets nothing. They learned fast, because they wanted her. A week later, Nora chose a quiet maintenance deck and laid down a blanket. The cubs tumbled on it like it was grass, chasing a loose strap, tripping over their own paws. A crew member rounded the corner and froze. Nora's heart jumped. Please. I can explain. The crew member stared at the cubs. Are those tiger babies? Cubs, Nora said. They're safe. Bit waddled up and sat politely, head tilted, like she was listening. The crew member crouched and offered a finger. Bit sniffed, then bumped her forehead against it, gentle. His shoulders dropped. They're going to get you in trouble. I know, Nora whispered. He looked at her hands, scarred from work. What are their names? Nora swallowed. Saying names felt like promising forever. Still, she said them. Rumble. Spark. Latch. Bit. He smiled, small and real. Bit fits. The next day, Nora asked the galley manager for 1 hour of stove time after shift. For what? He snapped. Morale, Nora said. And I can cover the protein. Hydroponics trade. He stared, then flicked approval on his tablet. If station control asks, this is on you. I know. That night, the galley smelled like something worth waking up for. Nora baked soft buns from algae flour. She seasoned protein until it tasted like smoke and salt. She made tiny burger sliders, because small food felt less cruel in a hungry place. Then she placed the cubs beside the serving line on a blanket, in full view. The first crew member stopped. What is this? Nora lifted her chin. Burger night. And mascots. People drifted closer, drawn by smell, then by stripes. Rumble sat like a king. Spark attacked a napkin. Latch climbed Nora's boot. Bit curled up and blinked sleepy at the world. A tired technician took a slider, then crouched and let Bit sniff his knuckles. Bit bumped him gently and purred. The technician swallowed hard, like the sound hit a place he kept locked. Okay, he said. Okay. For a while, the station sounded less like machines. Then station control arrived. The captain stepped into the galley with 2 officers. The room went quiet. Nora stepped forward before fear could pull her back. Captain. The captain's gaze locked onto the cubs. Explain. Nora kept her voice steady. They were abandoned in cargo. I kept them alive. I improved algae yield to trade for protein. No theft. No waste. The captain looked around at full plates and tired faces that had remembered how to smile. Spark trotted up to the captain's boot and Saturday. He lifted one paw and placed it on the toe, gentle and polite. The captain stared down at him. For a second, her expression softened. Then she cleared her throat. Animals are not protocol. Neither is starving quietly, Nora said. The captain's eyes moved to Bit, asleep, paws tucked under her chin. Then to Latch, clinging to Nora like the universe might steal her. You understand the risk, the captain said. Yes. The captain turned to her officers. Register them. Nora went cold. The captain added, as station service animals. Pest control and morale support. Temporary status. Nora blinked. You're allowing it. Temporary, the captain said. Keep them trained. Keep rations balanced. If this becomes chaos, it ends. It won't, Nora promised. Rumble chose that moment to flop onto his side and roll like a happy fool. A few people laughed, startled by their own sound. The captain paused, then said, Save me one slider. When she left, the room exhaled together. 2 days later, the test came. Hydroponics alarms trilled at dawn. Not the life support siren. The sharp, angry sound that meant crops were in danger. Nora ran with the cubs tucked in a carrier against her hip. Inside the grow bay, a tangle of cables sparked near a tower. On the damp floor, small grey Noras scattered, teeth flashing. They had chewed a water line. They were chewing again. The growers shouted and swung brooms, but the Noras were fast. Nora opened the carrier. Rumble. Spark. Latch. Bit. Come. 4 striped shapes poured out like liquid courage. They did not hunt like adults. They tumbled, they missed, they overcommitted. But they were quick, and they were fearless. Rumble pounced and pinned a NORA with both paws. Spark chased another into a corner. Latch grabbed a tail and held on like his name. Bit stayed near NORA's boot, batting anything that came too close to her. In minutes, the NORAs fled into the vents. The growers stared at the cubs, then at the intact towers, then at the saved waterline. One grower let out a shaky laugh. "Pest control," he said, like he had doubted it until that exact second. NORA knelt and checked each cub for scratches. "Good work," she whispered. "Good work." That evening, a message appeared on the station board. Temporary status extended. Station service cubs. Under it, a smaller line. "Thank you for saving the crop yield." NORA read it twice before she believed it. In the galley, people started calling the cubs by name without asking permission first. Weeks passed. The cubs grew a little, but they stayed small enough to fit in NORA's arms. They learned station sounds. They learned that hands could pet instead of grab. The crew learned too. Someone left a spare blanket outside NORA's locker. Hydroponics sent extra greens. The galley manager pretended to complain while sliding scraps into a container marked waste. One night, after shift, NORA sat by the observation window with 4 warm bodies piled against her legs. Stars glittered outside, cold and endless. Bit yawned and rested her head on NORA's knee. NORA stroked her ears. "You stole my burger." Bit blinked. Innocent. NORA smiled, small and tired. "So I fed you more." Rumble pressed his side into her calf. Spark purred against her boot. Latch climbed into her lap and fell asleep, paws curled like he was holding on to a dream. NORA looked at them and felt something steady settle inside her. The next time NORA held a burger in her hands, the cubs did not steal it. They sat in a crooked line on the deck, tails swaying, eyes fixed on her, waiting for the signal she had taught them. NORA laughed, broke the burger into 4 small pieces, and set them down one by one. They ate slowly, like they finally trusted tomorrow. And NORA finally believed that surviving did not have to mean becoming hard. For more emotional HFY stories, like, subscribe, and join Survival Arena HFY.